We've got news and earnings to cover from Ford, Pfizer, Facebook, and Shopify. And Pfizer just released a doozy from the CEO, so we're going to talk about that in this video. This is After the Bell. Hey guys, welcome back to the TipRanks YouTube channel. I'm Richard Allen. Thank you so much for joining me for After the Bell. This is the show where I try to get you up to speed on everything that happened today, but also cover a bunch of earnings reports. We've got Ford, Pfizer, Facebook, and Shopify all reporting today. And Pfizer just dropped a doozy. They said that the efficacy rate, which means the effectiveness of the vaccine, falls after 6 months to under 84%. So that was a little troublesome to hear, but we're going to jump in. We're going to cover the major indices first and how they did today. Pretty flat, if not a little bit down. And then Bitcoin hovering right around 40,000. So let's jump right over to TipRanks.com. We have the S&P down slightly today, but pretty flat. Dow Jones down 0.36%. NASDAQ down 0.41%, but still at or close to all-time highs right now. BTC, if we take a look at Bitcoin, it's hovering right around 40,000 per coin and has surpassed that multiple times over and over and over again. It just did it again. There we go. Up over 40,000 per coin. Top gainer stops on the move. After hours, we have Cognizant, Meritage, Pegasystems, Red Rock Resorts, and Sirius Logic all up 3.5% to 7.5%. After hours. But let's jump over. Let's talk about Ford's earnings first. We had Ford actually raising its 2021 outlook after surprise second quarter profit. However, they continue to struggle with the semiconductor chip shortages, so they missed expectations on revenues a tiny bit. They had automotive revenue of $24.13 billion versus expectations of $24.25 billion, and they had adjusted results of 13 cents per share versus expectations of a loss of 3 cents per share. So those were good earnings report for Ford. If we jump over to the analyst expectations here, we have a moderate buy based on 7 analyst ratings with an average upside over the next 12 months of 9.24% for Ford. Ford is doing pretty well after hours, up 2.38%. All right, let's jump over and talk about Pfizer. Pfizer sold $7.8 billion in COVID shots in the second quarter, and they raised their 2021 guidance on vaccine sales to $33.5 billion from $26 billion as the Delta variant spreads and scientists debate whether people will need booster shots. So they are talking about potentially needing a third shot for COVID. Not fun, but potentially necessary. Adjusted earnings came in at $1.07 per share versus 97 cents expected. Revenue came in above as well at $18.98 billion versus $18.74 billion forecast. So Pfizer here, let's jump over to the analyst. Ticker symbol PFE comes in with a hold rating based on 4 analyst ratings with an average upside of 6.63%. Pfizer was up 3.21% during normal trading, but has fallen since coming out with that statement saying that the efficacy rate falls after 6 months. I don't know if what the science is there yet, but they're learning that not only does the efficacy rate fall after 6 months, but the chance of having a more severe illness also increases after 6 months of having your second dose of the vaccine. So kind of sucks for people. I think that could potentially put a damper on some of the recovery stocks. Because of that, companies like the Cheesecake Factory, for instance, was down again today. So, all right, let's jump over and talk about Shopify. Shares of Shopify were down 3% in early trading today, despite the e-commerce platform reporting quarter 2 results that beat analyst estimates. Revenue hit $1 billion for the first time due to record gross merchandise volume. Revenue came in at $1.12 billion for the quarter ended June 30th, an increase of 57% from $714.3 million the prior year quarter. Meanwhile, net income was $879.1 million, an improvement from $36 million in the second quarter of 2020. On an adjusted basis, Shopify earned $2.24 per share, up from $1.05 in the prior year period. Shopify was down 1.1% today and has fallen almost an additional 1% after hours. But Shop comes in with a moderate buy based on 16 analyst ratings with an average upside of over 8% over the next 12 months. But this stock has run a lot over the past year or so. All right, let's jump over to Facebook. Facebook beats earnings expectations, reporting fastest revenue growth since 2016, and they hit an all-time high today. Shares fell a little bit in extended trading on Wednesday after the social media company issued a second quarter results that exceeded analyst expectations. But just like with a lot of stocks, we see them fall after reporting stellar earnings because a lot of times these prices are baked in to the price. That was what happened with Apple yesterday. Earnings came in at $3.61 per share versus $3.03 estimated. Revenue came in at $29.08 billion versus $27.89 billion expected. Daily active users 1.91 billion versus 1.91 billion expected. So they still have a lot of active users on their platform. Monthly active users were down slightly versus expectations, 2.9 billion versus 2.91 billion. Facebook's revenue grew by 56% year over year, its fastest growth since 2016, accelerating from 48% growth in the prior quarter. Facebook, ticker symbol FB, was up 1.5% today, but is fallen after hours, 3.85% down. But this does come with a strong buy based on 27 analyst ratings with an average upside of 7%. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of After the Bell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you aren't subscribed already, please do that. Hit that bell notification so you can get notified each and every time that we post here on the TipRanks YouTube channel. And check out the other video I have coming out in a couple hours on Square and their upcoming earnings report next week. It's going to be a big week for Square, and they were up quite a bit today. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.